Sagittarius season is here. Our Sun, our Mercury, our Venus have all moved into Sagittarius. So what does that mean? Are we ready for it? Are you ready for it? And we've got our emotional energy for this week. Stay tuned, my friend, because this is where we will get all those answers plus more for our astrology forecast for December 19th through the 25th. Step on in because here we go. Hey, my friend, Danny Simoni's here, your spiritual counselor, helping you find clarity on your spiritual journey. One of my favorite things to do is to help you remember, understand, return back to who you are at the core, who you are before society told you who to be, before your family told you who to be. And we do that through the lens of astrology. I'm so excited to be back with you today because once we know who we are, we can then strip away all of those societal, generational, and ancestral paradigms, belief systems that no longer serve who we are. My friend, this is truly a blessing to be here with you today. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already and hit the bell so you get notified every time we put a new video out here on the channel. There is more videos coming this week. I've already got them planned out to talk about Sagittarius season in more detail and things that we can do during this season. So be sure to hit that button. All right. So Sagittarius season is here. I do have a special invite for you at the very end. So stay tuned to tell you a little bit more about that and what's going on and how we can use this really visionary Sagittarius season and Capricorn together to create powerful aligned goals for 2023. So let's go ahead and get started because we are breaking down every single week. We are here to break down our astrological forecast so we know exactly what is going on so we can work with the energy and not against it, my friend, because man, that's an uphill battle that I don't know about you, but I don't want to take. So I absolutely love teaching astrology. I love sharing astrology. I love helping my clients and my students better understand themselves and heal those past generational, societal, and ancestral traumas that are not for them, I did it myself, and now I help people do that. And I have been in the coaching and leadership industry for over 20 years. So let's take a look here. I've got I actually made a peppermint mocha today, which I'm super excited about. I used cacao, oat milk, a little bit of sugar, and peppermint essential oil to give it that pepperminty taste. And it is freaking delicious. Let me just tell you. Okay. All right. So we are here. Let's move ahead to I was checking out a couple of things before we got started. So let's check out where we are. I just want to do a quick where everything is, and then we'll dive in. Okay. So we can see always our sun is the circle with the dot. So that right there is showing in the Sagittarius zodiac sign at 2 degrees. You can also see it's here in this energy of, or the part of the sky, right, of Sagittarius. We can also see this circle with this plus sign or cross is Venus. And so we can see she's there at 16 degrees Sagittarius. We've got Mercury there at 22 degrees Sagittarius. And we got a couple things to talk about with Mercury. And so you can see he's also in Sagittarius. And if we come up here to the top of our chart here, we have the moon, who is currently in Libra. So we can see here, the moon is in Libra. And so this is as of December 19th at 8:29:53 a.m. So we've got our main kind of players that we're going to be talking about today. We also have Pluto over here in Capricorn and Saturn over here in Capricorn. And we will be talking a little bit about Jupiter over here in Pisces. So these are where everybody's at right now. We've got a couple of changes that are going to be happening. We do have Mars over here, who is still retrograde in Taurus, which is why this season is such a time of us slowing down. And with everybody moving into Sagittarius, everything shifts from that deep, dark, transformational energy that we were all in Scorpio. My friend, did you feel that? Did you feel, let me know in the comments if you felt that Scorpio energy, man, because it was deep and it was intense. I have a lot of my clients where like all this stuff was coming up, stuff that they're like, man, I had been working on this. What is going on? Stuff even for myself that has been coming up that I'm like, whew, okay, let's do this. Well, that is gone. Now, I do want to caution you here. That doesn't mean that we don't keep looking at those things, and that those things were brought up for a reason, my friend. They were brought up for a reason for you to look at, for you to take a moment to say, hey, something's not right here. This isn't in alignment with where I am going. Honor that. Take the time to work through it. Take the time to heal that. If you want to book a healing session, I am booking healing sessions starting the first week of January. Your girl's going to take a bit of a break the last week of the year because I got a couple of things coming up in January and I need the break. So I do have some healing sessions opening up at the first week of January. So if you're wanting to do any type of work, please, please, please hit me up. If I'm not the person, if you have a healer already, then by all means go and schedule something with your healers, my friend. This is the time. Okay, let's get back to the chart. So we've got Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a fire energy, okay? So if we've taken the time in Scorpio to really recoup some things, we can take this Sagittarius energy and run with it. Now, Sagittarius is, as I said, a fire sign, and it is an action-oriented sign. It is also very, very optimistic. It is ruled by Jupiter. So we're talking about expansion. We're talking about adventure, freedom, travel comes up, especially foreign travel comes up at this time. So if you're like thinking of like, oh, I want to take a trip in the new year, or you're visioning your new year and what you want to do, this is the absolute time to do it. I'm going to recommend that you hold off. Okay. And I know for some of you, this is going to be like, what? What? I can't do this. My friend, when we follow the energy of nature, when we follow the calendar, when we follow this zodiac system, this time of the year is the time of reflection and vision. Okay. Reflection and vision. Sagittarius is all about finding out where it wants to go. It's about being like, we want to come from a place when we set our goals of being, after we have taken some time to reflect. So if you are taking any time off over this next couple of weeks, my friend, one of the things I'm going to recommend you do is reflect. Now, if you want an even deeper dive into that, I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end to join us where you can absolutely do that. But this is a time of reflection and vision. So this isn't the time to set goals. Capricorn is the time for us to create that plan of action, for us to solidify our goals. We can think about our goals right now. We can envision what they might be. We can do some of that research, but actually concrete setting the goals, this is not the time to do it. It may feel like it, but it's actually not. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind as you are going through this particular season. Okay. All right, so let's get back into this. I'm gonna jump all over the place today. So Mercury did move, as I said, it's in 22 degrees Sagittarius. So it did move into Sagittarius at the beginning of the month. December 3rd is when it actually moved into Sagittarius, and it's gonna be in Sagittarius for a bit. Okay, so we moved in on the 3rd. We are actually going retrograde, my friend. Yes, you heard the word retrograde. Mercury is going retrograde on December 29th, and then it will be in that retrograde period until the 17th of January. So from December 29th to January 17th, Mercury will be retrograde. So we are starting off this year with Mercury in retrograde. Yes, my friend, that is exactly what's going to happen. So I want to let you know that now because it is about to come next week. We'll see it. So keep that in mind. Okay. But remember, there's nothing to fear about Mercury retrograde. I'm going to do some more videos on Mercury retrograde for you. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to worry about. Mercury is a beautiful time. And so this is why I also say reflect and vision right now, reflect and vision, and we'll wait till after Mercury settles down, right? Because it will be in Sagittarius for another couple of weeks after it goes retrograde. So it's going to be pretty much retrograde all of December and January. It's going to be in Sagittarius before it moves into Capricorn. Okay. So I just want you to keep that in mind as well. All right. So we have Venus who moved into, Venus is 16 degrees Sagittarius right now. It moved on the 5th, right? Remember, Mercury and Venus travel really closely together. So Mercury did move in, I'm sorry, Venus did move into Sagittarius on the 5th, and then it will stay in Sagittarius until the 30th of this month. So the end of this month, the 30th of this month, and then it will move into Capricorn, okay? So we'll talk more about that next week, but Venus will be moving into Capricorn. So right now there's a lot of freedom and expansion and optimism in our relationships, because that's a lot of what, right? Venus rules our love, our money, even our money. So there's a lot of generosity here that you may be feeling, wanting to spend money, which isn't it pretty interesting that Venus is in Sagittarius in this very generous and optimistic energy during the holiday season. My friend, do you not think that big corporations are using astrology? Something to think about. All right, so as we look at, let's take a look at our moon now, because remember, our moon is our emotional energy, right? So Mercury is our thinking, right? It's our communication, and it being in Sagittarius, there's a lot of like grandeur type ideas. You might be even feeling like having a lot of communication around things, or being very generous in conversations. There could be some, let me just say, sarcasm, maybe a little snippiness with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is known for telling it like it is, right? It's very known for being like upfront and very direct about what it feels and what it wants to share. So you may be sensing some of that energy. I know I got a little snarky the other day, and I was like, oh girl, I'm getting a little snarky over here. so something to pay attention to. All right, so Venus again, that grandeur feeling and wanting to share, being very optimistic about your relationship. So if your relationship has been in maybe some trouble or had some complications, or there's been some tension, we could be wanting to overlook that and not deal with the problem. When Venus is here, when we move into Capricorn, it's like we settle things down, and things get a little bit harsher there. But right now there's a lot of optimism and generosity here. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so moon is our emotional energy, and currently Monday and Tuesday, it is in the energy of Libra, which is an air sign, which is very much about partnerships, very much about balance and harmony. When we see the moon in Libra, there's a lot of like wanting to like balance things out and keep things grounded, which is why I'm like, you know what, I'm taking next week off. I wasn't, but I decided to. I was like, I'm taking next week off, and it was like, I want this balance, right? I want to have that harmony in my life. Plus we have winter solstice coming up on Wednesday, and we've got, the holiday this coming weekend, and then the new year. And it's like, we want the balance of play and work, right? And so it's like we're seeking this. So this over the next couple of days can definitely be that feeling. There can also be an energy of a little bit of indecisiveness, like, should I do this? Should I do that? That could also be here as well. Our air signs, this is your normal energy. Fire, you also love this energy. Earth, you can get a little stuck in things here. You can also have trouble thinking clearly. You're wanting to jump from thing to thing. And our water energy, same kind of thing. Your emotions are fluctuating. That creativeness is inspired to do things, right? And so we want to use that to our advantage as well. So that's Monday and Tuesday. If we jump ahead to Wednesday, we're back into our water energy of Scorpio. So we'll be back into that bit of a transformational energy, which I love that this is happening on the winter solstice, right? It's that shift, it's that change in season, right? This is where winter solstice is the rising of the sun, right? It's where we have the shortest day, the longest night, and we are welcoming back. We are celebrating, right? The welcoming back of the sun. It's a really beautiful time of year, really beautiful season. And so during this time, it'll be with that Scorpio energy of that transformational energy of that death to the rebirth, right? The dying of the old and the releasing. We also have our new moon coming up on this Friday. And so we've got, really beautiful energy, a lot of things happening both in our sky and just within our seasons over this next week. So this is a really, really beautiful week, my friend. Take some time to slow it down. Okay, I'm going to slow it down for us because we could be getting in the feeling of ramping things up, of going a little bit faster. And I want to caution you on that. Slow it all down, okay? Because I want you to enjoy this season. I want you to enjoy these moments. Return back, right? Return back to self. Come back. I actually did a chakra healing meditation, really cool workshop on Saturday called Return to Self. It was really all about coming back here, right? Coming back to self and not getting lost in the sea of the collective, okay? So use this transformational energy that we have coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. And then we'll be moving in on Friday, which is our new moon, into Sagittarius, right? Our new moon in Sagittarius. New moon is when the sun and the moon are in the same zodiac sign at the same degree. And so we have here, this actually happens at about 4 something in the morning, early 4 o'clock in the morning. So this is kind of like that overnight energy of our new moon. So be sure to set your intentions. We'll be doing a new moon intention setting workshop. I do that every single month with the members of Heal Your Energy. So love to have you. If you'd love to join us, I'll put a link down in the comments. All right. And then we have, and you'll see here, we start this lineup here. We start this lineup where we have the sun and the moon conjunct, right? Which means they're together. And then we have the moon will be moving into, because Mercury and Venus are all in Sagittarius, the moon will be conjunct these two guys. So on Saturday and Sunday, right? So Saturday moving in from Friday to Saturday, we see it over Venus and conjunct Venus, which that is a really good time. There's a lot of emotion around connection with people. So if you're doing anything, make sure that, you're connecting with people on this particular evening or this day, and any way that you can connect, right? Whether that is through face-to-face interaction, or it could be even if you can't, be with your loved ones or your friends, or maybe you have virtual friends that you've met over the past couple of years, maybe connect with them virtually or even on social media. A really good time to connect with people. There'll be a lot of energy for that. And I would also say, if you're in a relationship and there are, good time to connect with your partner. If you are not, you might be like, I want a partner. If your relationship is having some trouble or complications, this could also feel a little needy, right? Like wanting to connect, even though things are not so great, and maybe the other one is not wanting to. So it could be a little bit of a challenge. I just want to point that out. And this could be in any relationships, not just, the intimate relationship, right? Like our partner, our spouse, that may be our most prominent relationship, but we have relationships with many other people. So there could be something in those relationships as well. All right. And then we move into the moon conjunct Pluto, when we move into Capricorn on Sunday, on Christmas, the moon will be in Capricorn in Pluto. So Pluto is our energy of moving things, of transforming things, right? It's the death to rebirth. It rules the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So any of the things that you think about Scorpio, you'll also want to think here with Pluto, okay? So Pluto with the moon, there can be a couple of different things here. Really good emotional energy coming forward so that we can shift some things, right? As I've been talking about. We can also see this get really manipulative, really controlling, right? When we think of the lower vibration of Scorpio, if you were in the Heal Your Energy Scorpio season, right? We're talking about those low vibrations of possessiveness, of control, right? All those things we kind of worked on during that season, like that is the energy that we could see here maybe spark up. So I just want you to be careful with that, because we could have family members, right, who are feeling this energy, and maybe we're spending the holiday season with them and they could be in this funk and you're like, what the heck is going on with you, right? And it's just because they're not sure how to use this energy. Same with you. You may be in this energy and you're not sure how to you're not sure what to do with it. Okay. So then we move on to Monday, which will still be in that Capricorn energy. So our moon will be moving through these guys, and it will hit on Monday in Saturn, which could be a little Debbie Downer-ish. It could feel like that dark cloud over your head and wherever you go, right? I think of Lucy from I was going to say Scooby-Doo, not Scooby-Doo. Charlie Brown, right? Is it Charlie Brown? Let me know. I think it's Charlie Brown. Yeah, but it's that like kind of dark Debbie Downer type energy that we could be feeling, right, on Monday. So that could be a little bit harder of a day. I just want to kind of give you that as an insight. Okay, so the other thing I want to point out here is, as we look at this chart here, we have the sun here, right, who is making an aspect to Jupiter. So earlier I talked about Jupiter being in Pisces, which this is expanding everything from a more spiritual standpoint, definitely unconscious things. So, you know, a lot of good energy that we've had and will continue to have with Jupiter here in Pisces for about another year. Okay, we'll still have this really good expansion, really good growth opportunities, a lot of freedom, right? We're seeking a lot of freedom during this time. Now, with the sun making this particular aspect, which is called a square, this can create some harsh kind of energy together. So when they're in this relationship, a couple of things, you know, we're feeling really confident, really proud, really lucky, very optimistic. Plus, our sun is in Sagittarius. So it's amplifying this energy because Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So this energy is just expanded even more. So that's great from a very optimistic, feeling good, feeling better. Where in Scorpio, you might have felt a little dark, but now you're like, oh, yes, right? And you may be already making the vision of 2023, right? Where you're like, oh, 2023 is going to be so much better, right? Because you're in this really optimistic, really grand viewpoint. Now, the problem here, the concern I have, which I'm going to share, is that we could be so optimistic and so generous that we overdo it, right? Jupiter likes to test its boundaries, where Capricorn knows its boundaries and is like, nope, we got to stay between our boundaries. We got to stay right here. Jupiter's like, screw the boundaries. I want to see if I can go beyond. I want to see how far I can take this, right? And so because of that, we can be taking on too many projects. We can be taking on too many things. We could be spending, right? Spending our money by buying things, right? Because we're feeling so generous. And it also is probably feeding some feelings maybe that we don't want to deal with. So I want you to keep this in mind, okay? We are feeling so good and feeling so generous, which is fantastic. I want you to be careful though to do this in moderation, to show some respect for yourself and for this season. That is not the time to just spend, and then be like, oh crap, what did I just do? And now I'm in a certain position, right? Or you're giving of time, giving of energy, that now you're depleted and you're exhausted and you just want to lay on the couch for days, right, to recoup. So you may also overeat or overindulge, get in addictions maybe coming up. So, drinking, right, eating the wrong foods. This is why all the sweets are out there, right? And you're wanting to eat all of those. Yeah, talk to my friend, Dr. Finlandi. She's amazing. She's a gut health expert, and she can definitely help you get rid of those sugar cravings right now, or help avoid them right now, because this is right. We're in this energy of like, I want all the things, right? Give me all the things. There could be some good fortune that is falling upon you. So good fortune that is coming to you, because this is good luck, right? Jupiter is luck. It is where we are the luckiest. Okay. So this is really an opportunity for that. Now, I don't want you to put all your eggs in that basket and just waiting for that luck either. Okay. Or if you get it, it's not like that sustainable luck. It's like a whoosh, you got something and then bam, it's gone, right? So it's not that long kind of standing that we would see in Capricorn. So I want to caution you of that as well. This is like, have fun, go out and party, but it is not the YOLO life. Don't party too hard, right? Have fun, go out and do things and enjoy yourself. Just make sure that you are not overdoing it or pushing yourself. Okay. All right. So my friend, that is our energy forecast for the week. So if here's my invitation to you. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in our next video, but I have done a retreat every single year, probably, I want to say like maybe the year or two after I started my business. So this is on year 5, probably, that we've been doing this. It is the Reset and Align retreat. This year we are doing it virtually. It is taking place on January 12th through the 14th. Stay tuned if you are somebody who is like, I really want to understand, this year. I want to understand my challenges and my strengths. I really want to take the time to reflect on what has gone on and what has happened, because we can't move forward unless we know where we have been. And I'm going to teach you how to look from this place, right? And look and approach our goals from an aligned place, right? From a place that is aligned with us and not something that somebody else is telling us is successful, whether that's in business, whether that's in your personal life, whether that's in your career. We are going to set some really powerful intentions, powerful goals for the new year. I'm going to even talk about those 2 ideas over in this retreat. So stay tuned for that. I'll tell you more about it in our next video. Stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell for notifications. And my friend, remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And find